My name is Charles Kiefer. I'm the facilitator here for Mosaic, which is a non-denominational Christian church. I also have homelessness in my life, and I've had not homelessness in my life. Homelessness really isn't about sleeping on the streets. It's about not having family that care enough about you to help you out. It's about not having a place to lay your head. When I first came to San Diego, my homelessness was about my drug addiction, which I'm now clean and sober from. But it wasn't about just wanting to sleep on the streets. I had no choice because in my addiction, everything was about me getting high. There was a time when I was younger, I was raised Catholic, and I had actually gone to a high school seminary when I was 9 years old to want to become a Catholic priest. But yeah, I grew up with a strong faith, and then I walked away from it for a long time, especially my drug addiction. I walked away from it a long time, and it wasn't until I found myself incarcerated, possibly looking at prison time, which in fact Jesus kept it so I didn't look at prison time, but it wasn't until I was in then that I realized that I was in a pit of despair, and I really needed something outside of myself to bring me up out of that pit, and I found it in Jesus, and I've been strong ever since. Tried to be strong ever since. Sometimes we're not perfect. Sometimes we make mistakes, but tried to be strong ever since. As an addict, one of the things we don't do is take suggestion very well. But I became willing to hear what not only the scripture was telling me about my addiction, but what some of the professionals who've actually researched it, Professor Terence Gorski, for one, in his book Staying Sober, that had a major influence on me as far as because it gave me the scientific facts behind the destructive nature of a drug addiction. A lot of that's what helped to motivate me to getting clean. This thing of homelessness has become a lifestyle for some people. I mean, especially in the younger generations, or even people my generation. I know that homelessness, it's just a way of life for them. Some of them actually have a huge amount of fear of getting back into the workplace because they don't know how to work, and they've been so many years sleeping under a bridge or sleeping alongside in a built doorway somewhere on the streets. The Barrio Logan area has been really good to the homeless people, and it's allowed them to have a shelter here. We're right at the borderline between the East Village and Barrio Logan. I mean, I'm actually going into Barrio Logan, like going down to Chicano Park, going over to Crosby Park, or maybe even farther down. I mean, you go down there and you see homeless people all around, and you don't see nobody hassling like they do in the downtown area, or even right here in the East Village. Cops swoop on them all the time. Security guards are telling them they got to move. I mean, you don't see that over here. They show them respect. They don't down talk them. They don't call them bums or treat them like crap. As a matter of fact, a lot of these people walk by, and I've actually watched a family walk out of their house, and this older guy. This was a long time ago, but this older guy, this younger couple. I mean, this older guy and this older lady were sitting on. You got Chicano Park here, and then across the street's kind of like this little concrete area under the bridge, and there's like little things to sit on there. And they came out of those apartments that are right over by there, and they brought these people food. I mean, they didn't have to, but they seen them out there, this old couple, and I mean, that's just the kind of respect that Barrio Logan has for their people and for just people in general. A typical day for me is going around what is really homelessness and trying to spread a good word, trying to give a little bit of an encouraging word, trying to be positive in thinking, and actually talking with some of the guys that I stay at St. Vincent's about them staying positive in all that they do, because negativity in thought, in action, it's a very destructive force. My love for Jesus, he was all about positive things in his life. Everything he did in the scriptures was nothing but positiveness. Okay, even if you don't believe in Jesus, some of the teachings that he taught, um, they're all about positivity. They're all about doing good for the fellow, not for yourself, but for somebody else and making a sacrifice. And that's what he teaches. And so that's what I try to give to these guys over there, to let them know that, hey, I'm a compassionate ear. I've been through what you've been through. I know the road you're walking down, and let me tell you, because I want to help you to try not to make the same mistakes that I did.